it is important for me to build something multi-generational, sustainable, because I want my future generations to also have the opportunity to follow whatever their hearts want. It's not like everything's gonna work. It's okay to fail, it's okay to try, and then when you know that it's not for you, it's not the right thing, then we can move on from it.
Tam has built 5 businesses and she started as early as when she was 6 years old. That is so impressive. And amongst the 5 businesses, she has scaled the 2 to a 6-digit figure. Wow, Tam.
Hi everyone, my name is Tam. I am Vietnamese and I currently the founders of GOL Solutions. We right now what I'm working on is to help companies that are entrepreneur to reach their global dream through cross-border e-commerce. This is growing up. The ventures I've been through is always about e-commerce, logistics, and like marketing and like promoting people. So this venture of mine is really a combination of all of that together and to help people reach their global dream. It's definitely it has been quite a journey. So at this moment, I am about 2 years to move into Singapore. And when I moved here, I decided instead of going to like working for applying for a job, I decided to start my own business instead. And it was not a rash decision because previously my husband like my boyfriend or now husband, he has been in Singapore for like more than a decade. So we have been planning for this relocations for a while. And while I was exploring the options, of course, options of going to study or finding a jobs here and doing a business, I have tried the looking for jobs here in Singapore already. I have the experience that during COVID, where I unfortunately got stuck here during COVID and fortunately found a job here during that time. But from that experience, I learned that it's not for me being in corporate. And that's why I know for me to be successfully happy and to see this is my second home, I have to be myself. And that means having my own business, surrounding myself with people who are in the similar mindset and journey.
That's very interesting. And I think it's really important for us to give that sense of understanding that what is good for us and when is it that we cut something out when it's not serving us. So that's something that I really felt was interesting. And I want to learn more in terms of what GOL Solution does. And apart from profit as well, why do you also think that it is important to build a sustainable and something which is a multi-generational business that you're currently working on?
Yes. I think for any business I'm looking at now, I've always have, whenever I go into a new business, I know it's a commitment between 3 to 5 years minimum. So all the business I've done, I was in or I've been in with it at least 3 to 5 years before I decide if this is right for me or not. But I know that the long-term commitment is what it's needed to make a business success. About building a success of like a multi-generation sustainability is because I come from a background of family business. So beside running or having my own projects, I also running my family business in Vietnam. And this is the ideology of my family have since my parent generations and now me. I see the benefit of having a stepping stone and also a safety net, knowing there are people knowing there are resources for me to reach my dream, whatever it is. So it is important for me to build something multi-generational, sustainable, because I want my future generations to also have the opportunity to follow whatever their hearts want. The one thing I want to highlight is that I why did I have the privilege to start a business when I just came to a new country? I definitely, it's because I felt confident enough that if I fail, I do have my family and I do have safety net to come back and yeah, be safe again. Yeah, but the knowing that you are safe is also giving me the power to be more risky and take risk.
One thing that I want to ask you and I'm curious about is you mentioned multi-generational. So this was already a business that was started by your parents. And now you are expanding this beyond Vietnam, given your international exposure as well. What has it been like? Because multi-generational businesses can also be very tricky. Right?
Yes.
What has it been like for you? And what kind of conversations have you had with your parents? Because you also have this sense of distance, right? Like proximity is also not the reason why like communication would be easy necessarily. Right? From your global perspective of being in a more if I could say a more diverse market, Singapore, versus them creating a successful business in Vietnam. How have you tackled that?
I think the one thing that makes me excited or very proud of to help whatever the business in Vietnam, we're in the logistics space, and now with GLL Solution is the extended version of it, where we focus more to serve consumer brand and like cross-border e-commerce sellers. But yeah, the original why I'm doing what I'm doing, because we're in the logistics space in Vietnam and we serve the e-commerce space in Vietnam. We serve the import-export industry. Why I felt like wanting to do and continue that legacy, I think there were two critical things that my parents were doing growing up. One is they let me experiment my ideas. So before starting my venture, or like the one that I started at 6 years old, is actually not because I do everything myself. It's because my parent was like, "Hey, you have that idea. Let's make it happen." And they helped me fall in love with the process of having an idea and make it into a reality. And that is the basic startup, right? You have an idea, you figure out what makes it work or what make it to come real life, and that's exactly what they have instilled and gift to me. And the second thing that they always do is sharing their learnings and their kind of like conclusion and their insights from all their activities. In my I have five, but my parents, back in the days, I think they have tried around 12, 15 different business models in their time. Some of them work and some of them don't, but because they try so much, they gain so much insight and they pass it down to me. So that really helps me understanding that it's not like everything's gonna work. It's okay to fail, it's okay to try, and then when you know that it's not for you, it's not the right thing, then we can move on from it. So it really helped with me not taking failure personally. And that's one of the important things that entrepreneurship is.
There are three things that I learned from your journey that you just shared. That one, that it's super important to have cheerleaders around, right?
Yes,
like your
absolutely.
parents being that encouraging and that motivating factor really sort of molded you to this amazing entrepreneur that you are today. Second, that I felt was that the sense of resilience. I mean, like your parents have created 13 to 15 businesses. Like, wow, like how rare is that? And how rare it is to experience that even in our circles as well. Like when we're meeting other immigrants here. And also like normalizing failing. I think like in Asian cultures, we're so pro productivity, pro grades, like A plus, you must win, like nobody remembers the one who came second, that sort of a thing. So sort of it's okay to fall down because that's how you'll know how to run better. And these are some of such important soft skills that is needed to be there. So it's great to identify in terms of who can motivate you, even if it's not coming from parents directly.
Yeah.
You can perhaps choose your circle, is what my takeaway was in terms of what you were sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with what your conclusion, and I think that's one of my first learning when I came to Singapore and start my business here. I would say starting from scratch, from like social life, personal life, and even like career wise. I the first year I really felt lonely, and I have to really find a way to combat it. So I was, just actually go a bit crazy of like signing myself into communities where people are working on something that I care about and we can share it. So that's why how we met in Podium, because I felt like I need the exposure and a community of women around me who also working and build their life. And I also in other community like LinkedIn or different aspect when I need it, because yeah, community is so important. And if you don't have it offline, I think nowadays with online you can access any community globally, like as long as you feel connected to them.
That's so true. And I think like COVID has really changed in terms of what it meant to be connected. How is it that someone can start their business step by step, maybe from idea generation to how is it that they can see themselves executing a business?
That's a great question. As someone who have a lot of ideas, I learned this from my coach, where the first thing you do is you write down all your ideas and you score it in terms of your skill, resource, and time commitment. And based on that, you can rank which idea is worth trying first. My personal hack, because I also have a lot of ideas, but for me, my one score that I would really identify and trying to work on is that to find paying customer. So I can tell you and I can talk to you about an idea I have, but unless I found maybe 5 or 10 people willing to pay for it, I'm not gonna work on that idea yet. Yeah. So in my business, because we serve the e-commerce sellers, we heard the importing export industry. So I get to talk to a lot of like the industry, and learn their insights. So yeah, so if a customer come to me and share about their problems, I will wait at least 3 times where somebody tell me about the same problems before I think about the solution. And then from the solution, I will propose to another 5 to 10 people. And if they are okay and on board to sign, then I will then start the setting up and everything afterward. So that I think is the easiest way to just finding out an idea and see what works. Because at the end of the day, a business should able to sustain itself and should able to bring in revenue.
Yeah. Articulate and test.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. Yeah. And how do you, when you get these ideas, like do you journal them? Do you draw them? Because everyone also does it in a different way. What's your style?
I usually talk to people. So I love talking to people, and that's why originally I started my podcast as well, because I wanted to talk and I want to pick people's mind. So usually the first phase of my ideation is just to talk to other entrepreneurs or other friends of mine or people I think that they would understand the problem I'm trying to solve and see what is the feedback. And yeah, from there, if there is kind of like the feedback, I will kind of like internalize it before maybe tell another person, um, maybe a slightly different version of the original idea and see the reaction and just basically test, irritate, irritate again.
Well, thank you so much, Tam, for this insightful conversation. I certainly learned a lot.
For my for GLO solution, I would say the Singapore one is the 2.0 version, or the international versions of what my parents originally started from Vietnam. So the GLO Vietnam is actually the first e-commerce marketplace in Vietnam at the time.
Wow.
So this is also where so it's similar like Amazon nowadays. You can
Mm.
open a store and you can sell your products up there. So this is actually where I also start my first ventures, where I was really into aquarium and fish pet at the time. So my parent was like, "Hey, how about you open a store online on our platform and sells fish?" Yeah, so we sell fish
Mm.
and aquarium tanks, equipments, all those
Wow.
things for people who really into like that kind of
Mm.
hobbies. And one thing happened is we started getting orders from national wide from Vietnam, and then international order as well. So I remember we were like shocked when we have an order from a German customer ordering from our website a pair of fish going to Germany.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was how it started. Um, but from that project or from that
Mm.
like small venture, I one big learning for me is that online channels, e-commerce really can open doors so that you can get access to customer all around the world.
Mm.
And if you can find customer who buying your products in your city, there are potentially a lot of people out there outside of your country, outside of your city, who also want the same thing. Um, and because of nowadays with cross-border e-commerce and like
Mm.
all the big platform, your chance to bring your product overseas is lower, much more than like 20, 30 years ago.
Mm.
20, 30 years ago, I think import export is kind of like a big guy game where you have to heavily invest it in your factories and, hopefully finding a big buyers overseas to purchase your products. But e-commerce help lowering the marketing cost. You now don't need a permission from a local partner to start selling
Mm.
to the direct consumer. And because I believe that, and I really see how small business, like especially from Vietnam, where I'm from, a lot of people have dedication and make good products quality that deserve to be known more. So I think online e-commerce is the vessel for that. And I think, yeah, there are people all around the world who also deserve that chance to able to bring their products overseas. Yeah, so when I went to Singapore and relocated here, I decided why don't I transform whatever we offer
Mm.
in Vietnam to a international solutions for anyone who wants to experience and sell the products globally. And what we do is we help you understanding what it takes, what are the admin work, the operation aspects, the import export aspect to deliver the products from where you're from to the destination's country.
So I have a question, and this is very interesting. Um, that how like when such a butterfly effect that your parents encouraged you to start your business, you
Yes.
started your business, and
Yeah.
you got an order from an uh, international buyer.
Yeah.
You got an order from an international buyer, and that prompted the idea that you need to take this to cross borders as well.
Yeah.
The the interesting aspect is that you're in Singapore supporting the Vietnam market, and now perhaps other innovators based in Singapore. But what if someone is based in um, San Francisco and they want to sell something in Laos? Does
Absolutely.
GOL Solution provide that?
Yes. So what we helps is we help you to understand what is the local regulations you need to bring your product into a new countries. And our current market coverage at the moment is North America, South Asia, and Europe. So if you want to sell to any of the countries in these regions, then we will walk you through what is the paperwork that you need to complete, who are the local vendors that you need to engage to deliver your products, and what are the accounting tax thing that you need to do to fulfill in that local countries. And it is packaged in a done for you service where all those admin works is done by us so that you can focus in the sales and marketing.
That's great. So you do consulting work, you also provide the services, and then you essentially come as an outsourced team.
Yeah, so it's like a third person, a third team member in your e-commerce team, because usually e-commerce team are quite lean. A lot of people are specialized in the marketing, and they find very draining when it comes to like just operation and fulfillment part. But that's where we find a lot of fulfillment for ourselves. So it's a matchmaking process so that you can focus on what you're good at, and we can help you make it happen.
Great. And do you still provide the e-commerce facility?
So what we do more is on the software and technology side. So we have software solutions that to help you manage these kind of operations. And because we're in the logistics space for the past 30 years, then we also have a lot of trusted partner in the region to connect you and work on the the on the ground activities.
So your e-commerce business evolved to a software solution provider because of that one order that you received. So everyone needs to look out for that one sign, because even like the simplest or the smallest of sign can create these big ideas.